Now adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room.
This is the Protect Your Assets podcast.
Mr. Sandman,
You get the idea?
bring me a dream.
It's on the internet.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
Go on.
Give him two lips like
It's like no cheese I've ever
and
tasted.
tell him that his lonesome
Here's the
nights
Sandman.
are over, Sandman.
Good morning. Welcome to Protect Your Assets. I am David Hollander, your host, and today I will be your drill sergeant as this entire month we've rolled out our version of a retirement boot camp. We've done our best to help you jumpstart your New Year's resolutions. Maybe you wanted to pay down your mortgage, save more money, or pay less taxes. That's what we've been talking about this entire month. If you missed any of those shows, please go back and check our podcast, wherever you get your famous podcast. Just type in Protect Your Assets, and you can find those subjects. For those of you just joining us for the first time, welcome. People around here, they call me the Sandman, and that's because I help you sleep well at night by answering your most troubled tax, legal, or financial questions each week. And that's because I've been running a tax, legal, and financial firm for over 30 years. Then today's show is just for you. So if you have a question about food, maybe your personal health choices, exercise, some of these new anti-aging things that are out there, call us. We have some exclusive guests in here today that know a lot about the subject. Was one of your New Year's resolutions to live longer, healthier, more rewarding life, maybe? Well, today I am very much looking forward to hearing from our guests who are very active in these topics we're going to be discussing today. First, we're going to start out with food choices, water, all things that you're going to put into your body. After that, we're going to get into some of the new treatments that are out there that you've seen probably on Netflix or maybe come across on the internet, or maybe some of your friends are doing these things. And then last, we're going to talk about your psychological health and what are some things you can do spiritually to improve your life. So it's going to be a great show today. First time I'm doing this subject. I'm into this. I love it. And it's a brand new year. It's never too late to try and change your health habits. So now is the time to make some moves. So here's what I'd like you to do. Take a big gulp of your ritual coffee, get a pad of paper and a pen, and get ready to make some notes, because it's going to be a great day today, soldier. Here we go. It's going to be a great show, so keep it right here. Now, let's get started. Well, I guess the rule this week is don't play politics with your portfolio. Trump's first week in office, and the market, well, it did what everybody thought it wasn't going to do. It was up, Dow up 2.2% for the week, S&P up 1.7%. NASDAQ up 1.7%, MSCI. This is where the interesting part of the market is developing, international. But this week, the MSCI EFI, this is the international index, up 2.2%. Year-to-date up 3.4%. It's close to one of the leaders. 10-year Treasury pretty much flat this week, still sitting around 4.62%. Oil, we're going to talk about this. Oil was down 3.6%, and bonds, again, pretty flat. So this past week was interesting because President Trump walked right in, signed a record 26 executive orders, more than any other administration in history. And from a macroeconomic perspective, because that's what I talk about, these new orders focused in my review on four things as it relates to the market: energy, immigration, tariffs, and technology. How should you think about this when it comes to your investing right now? The new administration seems to be eager for oil companies to increase fossil fuel production. However, increasing the supply of oil and gas will do what? It's going to lower energy prices, and in fact, will put downward pressure on revenue growth and earnings for the major energy producers. That's perhaps why we saw oil fall off this week, 3.6%. However, lower energy prices, well, that's going to help inflation, because if you pay less at the gas pump, then that helps you keep more in your pocket. Even if U.S. companies were to drill and produce more oil, the logistics of refining oil, that could be another headwind because refineries right now are pretty stressed. And to get that oil, they have to retool their facilities and be able to process more. Because as I was looking at this, we are the largest producer of oil in the world. I don't know if you know that. 22% of the global supply is produced right here in the U.S. The next, obvious, Saudi Arabia, it's 11%. So we're doing double what they're doing already. Trying to expand that further, well, it could bring challenges. Let's talk about tariffs. I've done a lot of discussion about tariffs. And of course, the market was worried about this. But it appears the administration now may be using this as more of a quid pro quo. What do I mean by that? Well, an example this past week, Trump was talking about TikTok. And maybe a tariff on China is used as a negotiating tool when it comes to TikTok. So it's not as broad as we thought. How about the other area I was talking about when it comes to labor? Well, in our view, the focus on technology investing and how that could affect through immigration and those visas we talked about a few weeks ago. It appeared this week they were looking at the right direction of that. And so the market liked that. Again, the technology Mag 7 did fairly well because the U.S. is a leader in AI right now. Many of the Mag 7 AI infrastructure companies right here in the U.S. And it appears the investment in data centers and electricity, energy is critical for the U.S. to maintain their leadership in this area. And from what we've seen this past week with who showed up and what's going on, it seems like the government's invested in technology. Coming up next, when we come back, what's the biggest thing you can do to lose weight and keep it off? We're going to talk about that. You are listening to the Sandman on the Protect Your Assets show. Take advantage of this. We'll be right back.
Take the first step toward reaching your financial goals and get the information that can help you live a confident retirement. That first step is going to PYAevents.com and signing up for our next free event. That's PYAevents.com. Now back to Protect Your Assets with David Hollander, the Sandman.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Protect Your Assets. I am David Hollander, also known as the Sandman around here. And our goal is to help all of our listeners live a more productive, less stressed life when it comes to your money, taxes. And today we're talking about your health. This entire month here in January, we've taken this hour each week to help you keep your New Year's resolutions, maybe saving more money, paying less taxes, and yes, getting in better shape for 2025. If one of your New Year's resolutions had anything to do with improving your health, and today's show is just for you. This will be our final episode, number 4 of the Boot Camp series here for January 25. If you missed any of our great content, go check out our podcast wherever you get your podcasts and just type in Protect Your Assets and you can get it right there. All right, so we are going to switch it up now and talk about your health, particularly when it comes to what you actually put into your body. And so my guest this morning is Sheila Hollander, who's my wife, mother. She's an attorney and a former vegetarian cafe owner. Sheila became interested in health long ago in high school science class, took nutrition electives in college, and has since been a dedicated lifelong learner of health and nutrition. When our kids were in elementary school, she took on the parents group when it came to lunches at school. And I remember sitting there handing out lunches and wondering, well, why are we feeding our kids this stuff? And Sheila got involved and changed it up with some help. And the kids then got healthy lunches and actually liked it. And we received thank yous. And then in 2020, Sheila went ahead and opened up a vegetarian cafe here in the Pill Hill area as a healthy alternative to provide healthier breakfasts and lunch and coffee options to those who are working in the largely medical field here in this neighborhood. And we're lacking nutritious offerings. So Sheila's with me this morning, and she's going to educate all of us on how she keeps me healthy and our family healthy. Good morning, Sheila. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's talk about something easy for you, I guess. Let's talk about high-level nutritional guidelines. Provide us some ideas on what we can do to just get more nutrition out of what we're doing daily.
Sure. Well, stepping back for a moment and looking at the bigger picture here, it's clear that the U.S. is struggling with a national obesity epidemic that's getting worse with each passing year. As Americans, we're 50% more obese than the average person in Europe. Although one can point to various significant lifestyle differences between our country and other countries, one major difference is the food we tend to consume as part of what's known as the standard American diet. As a society, we've become obsessed with convenience. As such, fast food is a significant component of this, and unfortunately, as more and more young people become consumers of fast food, the greater our national obesity epidemic is becoming. One of the very best ways you can improve your health, David, is to emphasize healthy foods in your diet.
All right, let's talk about that because we live in a great area here. There's a lot of choices around. So how do you practically start something like that?
Sure. Let's start off with fruits and vegetables, as they should constitute...
My favorite.
I'm glad to hear that. As fruits and vegetables should constitute a significant part of what you eat each and every day. A popular rule of thumb that's often used is a phrase, eat the rainbow, which means select a variety of fruits and vegetables at the grocery store and challenge yourself to pick out something new each week, or at least something that you haven't eaten for a while. Try different types of lettuce in your salads. Try to look for purple sweet potatoes or cauliflower, orange or yellow bell peppers, and certainly anything that comes in an heirloom variety. Those are all really excellent choices. This wide range of colors can help protect against disease, reduce inflammation, and support your immune system. Another really good rule of thumb is to eat seasonally and locally. If you have access to a farmer's market, which all of us do, at least here nearby, that's a great opportunity to see what's in season and what's available in your area. At the grocery store, aim to stay away from produce that's been flown in from another continent. Just like when you fly long distances, you're dehydrated and tired when you arrive. Food that's been transported long distances has lost many of its valuable vitamins and nutrients, so it's really best to stick to what's growing in your area. Another common rule of thumb while grocery shopping is to focus on the perimeter of the store. Aside from the produce section, the perimeter is where you'll find excellent sources of protein. Protein is very, very important as we age. Good examples of protein are eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, fish, and meats. Try to find labels that read free range, grass-fed, and or organic whenever possible. In the center aisles, you'll find other excellent sources of protein, like quinoa, lentils, and all sorts of beans. You'll likely find an array of nuts and seeds there, too. Nuts are great snacks and have been determined to provide protein, healthy fats, and a range of nutrients. As far as what to cook with or use in your salad dressings, you can't beat the health benefits of extra virgin olive oil, or EVO, E-V-O-O for short. EVO has been shown to be an excellent source of healthy fat in your diet. And of course, if you have a sweet tooth like I do,
and me,
dark chocolate, the darker the better, offers a variety of vitamins and minerals, but should be consumed in moderation.
And so let's start with that right off is cacao, right? Cacao is the chocolate content in a candy bar that you would look at. What's a number that's a good starting point?
They say that anything above, I would say 70 or 80% cacao would be your best option for a healthy version of dark chocolate.
And where we start this is we're usually sitting in the shopping store and we're looking at all the chocolate varieties. We pick out a few that have 70 to 80 to 85, 90. And then we go home and we open them and eat them, and then we figure out which one we like, and then we go back and buy more. That's how we do it. Anyway, so thank you. That was excellent. Of course, nuts. We have a funny joke about a particular type of nut. What is that nut again?
Brazil nut.
Yeah, the Brazil nut. We have a friend who said, they stick those Brazil nuts in the mixed nuts because it takes up a lot of room. No one wants a Brazil nut. And we had a whole container of them. My friend started laughing. He goes, no one wants those nuts. They're pretty healthy, right?
They're actually great sources of vitamins and minerals.
All right, let's switch topic real quick. I want to ask you about this because I've done this for the last 2 years. Let me throw this out real quick. Check out the app Inside Tracker, folks, insidetracker.com. I am personally doing this. I'm following this. This was all recommended by my doctor, who then I found another doctor named David Sinclair. He's a doctor from Harvard who focuses on anti-aging protocols that are out there. This is what got me into this. And so Inside Tracker is a great way to look at your blood regularly and see what kind of food you need and what does well for you. So I use that. And through this journey that I've been on, I started getting into something called fasting. Can you talk a little bit about that, Sheila, please?
Yes. In recent years, there's definitely been a buzz about intermittent fasting. And it's largely accepted that this is, in fact, another way to improve your health and increase your longevity. So a good rule of thumb is to let your body, specifically your digestive system, rest for 12 to 14 hours every night. The reason for this is it allows your body the much needed time to repair and reset itself at a cellular level for the next day. Additionally, if you wait at least 2 to 3 hours between when you eat dinner and when you go to bed, your sleep quality will improve.
And I've noticed this too. I would say that. And I would say, for me, this fasting ritual that I've been doing, again, this originally started with David Sinclair. I've been following it. And many folks have said to me, what are you doing? What's going on? How are you doing this? So this was one of my protocols that I've implemented and been doing, and Sheila has as well. And it's worked very well for us. The other thing that we do a lot of, let's talk about water.
Well, I just want to explain for those people who don't know about intermittent fasting. So the easiest way to do this is to start counting when you finish dinner and had your last bite of food and let 12 hours go by. So if that's 8 p.m., then you'd wait at least until 8 a.m. the next morning before you have your next bite of food. And this allows the important opportunity to repair and reset, potentially improving your blood markers, your sugar markers, reducing inflammation, and improving your longevity. Now, you asked about water, right?
That's right.
It's pretty common knowledge that water plays a critical role in health and longevity. Your body, after all, is made up of at least 60% water. And a fair amount of us, often unknowingly, are walking around dehydrated. Consuming a solid 8 ounces of water a day, solid 8 glasses of water a day, big difference there, if not more, especially if you're an active person, is paramount to staying healthy and promoting longevity. It's been also said that one of the best things we can do as Americans is to eliminate our consumption of soda.
Yep. So right now, what I'm doing here and what I do is I use a glass container. We don't like drinking out of plastic. So we have a glass container. Typically, we have a filtration system. Again, tons of science behind all this. Don't have time to talk about it right now, but that's what we do. And I drink usually 3 to 4 quarts of my milk bottle right here of water a day. And that, again, helps with keeping us regular and in shape. And then the very last quick one, let's talk about processed foods.
Sure,
ingredients.
Of course. Well, just like I was saying, you should try to eliminate soda, both regular and diet. And anything that you, when you're reading a label, if you can't pronounce the ingredients on the label, which is often the case with sodas and with ultra-processed foods, really try to avoid eating those or consuming them in any shape or form. A good habit is to avoid anything that you wouldn't find in your own kitchen. So A great habit is to plan ahead as much as you can. So when you're traveling, I would say try to bring some healthy snacks with you on the road to try to avoid consuming these ultra-processed foods, and try to cook it at home regularly. You'll just you'll make better choices that way and keep yourself healthier. Excellent. And just for everyone to know, when I started the fasting routine, which again, you can learn a lot about this in the morning, typically I have a coffee, and part of my coffee that I can bring on the road with me is something called chaga. It is in the cafe here in Oakland downstairs, but it's called the Sandman, by the way. But chaga has some incredible antioxidant comparisons. If you look at chaga compared to, say, blueberries, acai, or acai, pomegranates, etc. Incredible immunity and health benefits there. So check out some of these things that are out there to increase your health. I want to thank Sheila for being here and sharing her vast knowledge on the subject with us today. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And if you don't have a plan right now on how to get healthy, we would love to help you get financially healthy. So hope is not a strategy. And if you've been looking for some help, remember, in our office, we have attorneys, CPAs, and certified financial planners who work as a team to help you figure this out and get ahead. And so if one of your New Year's resolutions was doing that, pick up the phone right now and get my free guide on how to get ready for retirement. Call the number right now, 866-PROTECT, 866-PROTECT, and find out what you can do to get things started. Coming up next, I have my next guest who will certainly share with you some of the new therapies that are going on out there. Again, another one that I'm trying and really enjoying. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
Take the first step toward reaching your financial goals and get the information that can help you live a confident retirement. That first step is going to pyaevents.com and signing up for our next free event. That's pyaevents.com. Now, back to Protect Your Assets with David Hollander, the Sandman.
Welcome back to Protect Your Assets. I am David Hollander. People around here call me the Sandman, and that's because our goal is to help our listeners live a more productive, less stressed life when it comes to their finances. And this entire month, we've taken this hour each week to help you realize your New Year's resolutions for 2025, whether it was paying less in taxes, saving more money, doing more of the things you want to do. This fourth episode today is all about your health, because I've seen this a lot doing this for over 30 years, is you could have all the wealth in the world, but it doesn't matter if you don't have your health. And so you need your health to enjoy your wealth. So this episode has been dedicated to that subject. And if you missed any of it, you can go back and check out our podcasts. Now what we're going to talk about is some of the new things that are out there that I've been learning about through my journey in this area. Many of you who know me personally know that I'm a big proponent of taking care of yourself, whether it's diet, exercise, mental stimulation. I believe after advising clients through retirement for the past 30 years, there are certain things, certain characteristics that help our clients live a much better life. And so today, through this journey, I've learned a lot about some of these things that are out there. And so my guest today was very generous to give us her time this morning, Alex Williams. Alex is the founder of the Holistic Hyperbarics here in the Bay Area. She founded it in 2017. And has been an EMT, an in-home birth doula, a home health care surgical recovery worker over her career. And I found out about hyperbaric oxygen from several people I follow about anti-aging protocols. One of them out there is Tony Robbins. Maybe you've heard of him. And Tony Robbins got me into the subject. And through him, I found someone named Dr. Scott Scher, who is an advisor to HH. And anyway, you can check him out on YouTube if you want to learn more about just that subject. But certainly we're going to learn a lot more about it from someone here in the Bay Area who knows all about it. Alex Williams, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Now, let's talk about this. How did you get into this work?
We don't have enough time.
Okay.
But what I will say is my life has been at service of people from the very start. I come from an activist family. I come from a caretaking family. And so my thought about my career was, how can I serve the most people? How can I make systems work for people? How can I help people live better lives? And so it's manifested in massage. It's manifested into working on an ambulance for 10 years in Alameda County. It has been home health care. It's been doula work, helping people be born. There's 40 children in Oakland that know me as Auntie A. And, you know, right before I started my career in law enforcement, I tore my shoulder and had been a sponsored Ironman triathlete for 7 years and used a hyperbaric chamber during that time. So I wanted to use it for my shoulder.
Okay.
And couldn't find a clinic that aligned with what I needed. So I emptied my savings and bought a chamber.
Wow.
Healed my shoulder in record time, talked about it on Facebook like a true millennial. And within about 6 months, friends were using my personal chamber, and then their friends.
They were showing up at your house.
And then strangers.
Yeah.
And after about 6 months of that, I realized maybe it's not law enforcement. Maybe the change that I want to make is actually in this space-agey, crazy thing.
Yes, and you've really built quite a facility, because I must say, you know, it was a similar journey for me in that I learned about this through these folks that I follow as another alternative to things that I'm doing. I do sauna, I do cryo. Everyone knows what I'm doing, who are my friends. And I came across this subject, and of course, immediately I started thinking, well, maybe I'll just go out and do one of these, buy one, put it in my house, and just do it. And then I realized, well, you know, you better go professionally and see how this is being done. And when I was lucky enough to find you, and I really connect that to Dr. Scott, sure, is that I was blown away. I was blown away by your facility, what you built, the way it looks, your staff, just the whole experience. It's really incredible. So you've done an amazing job. And so I'm going to turn this a little bit here real quick, because we're going to do our They Say. So let's just do this kind of thing we always do. And now it's time for one of our fan favorite parts of our show. This is our They Say segment, where we debunk common myths, half-truths, and sometimes bad advice that they say.
Who are they? What do they know that I don't? And what are they saying this week? Here's David Hollander, the Sandman's answer.
All right, so I don't know how to answer this one, but here's one I heard they say. In fact, he's pretty well known. They say that all hyperbaric oxygen therapy is the same. What do you say about that, Alex?
False.
Good. Right answer. And why is that?
You know, not all are the same. There are chambers that are made for your home that are not as powerful as medical grade ones. They also don't have medical grade oxygen. And the therapy itself is pressurized chamber with medical grade oxygen for a certain amount of time and supervised by medical personnel.
And what Alex just said, I would unpack that a little bit and go back and listen to that, because what she just said, unless you go do it, you don't know what she's talking about, particularly if you compare it to what else is out there. So this, for me, again, just being more of a processed planning person, this was wow, this is great. And it's super hard to copy or do correctly, and you've done an amazing job. So let's just talk about that therapy. You said your shoulder had hurt. You stepped into this world, learned about this, started getting into it. Now, certainly with what you're doing, you're a figure in this area. Can you tell us what makes a facility medical grade, quality delivery? What should people be looking for who are trying to even think about this or look at it?
I think for decades, we have been relegated to what healthcare is giving us. And that is sterile, that is impersonal. And
it's reactionary, right?
Is.
It's after something's happened to you, then you're treating the problem as opposed to getting in front of the problem.
Oh, yeah. There's no proactive behavior in healthcare at all. There's no incentive to do that. But most importantly, we heal better in spaces where you feel nurtured. So the space in Emeryville is a marriage between medical-grade equipment and well-trained staff and a place that's designed for rest. And we spend a lot of time learning about our patients, collecting data, following up with them, and taking time to answer the questions. And that's what healthcare really should be.
Yes, I agree. Let's talk about cellular currency. What does that mean?
Well, we're on a fiscal show, right?
Yes.
People often ask me what hyperbaric is, and I tell them that we are in a fiscal deficit every day, and even worse if we're not taking care of our bodies. Oxygen is our cellular currency. So when we think about what we need to live. We take in enough oxygen every day just to have our basic function. But as far as performance or even repair, we don't have enough of that cellular currency. And all hyperbaric oxygen therapy is delivering you 1,200 times more oxygen than you can take in every breath. Think about it like this. What if I knocked on your door on Monday and I gave you 1,200 times more than what you have in your bank account? Well, you're probably going to pay off some bills, you're going to get strategic, but then what if I came back on Tuesday and gave you 1,200 times more? You might still have to pay off some bills. Those are the injuries. Those are the chronic things that we have. Maybe it's the serious injuries. But on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
now you're flush.
Now you're flush,
Yeah.
and that's performance. And so that's the beauty of hyperbaric medicine, is that it cures nothing, but it's the catalyst to everything.
Personal story. This I've been doing this now for several months, and when I was playing with my daughter's big dog, who's a puppy, we were playing last Saturday, as a matter of fact, he jumped up and strained my index finger, and it swelled up and it was painful. And I so happened to have this appointment the very next day to go into your chamber, and I went, not even knowing this, I went in, did the session, and when I came out, the swelling was way down. The pain was pretty much gone. I had use again of the finger. I couldn't believe that this was something. And then I said, "Do you, Alex did?" And she said, "Well, yeah." And so, explain some of the types of people that have seen you, some of the uses that you can use this therapy to help someone feel better. Give us some examples.
So anything from COVID-19 long haul to fertility to sexual health to stroke, we see it all. When it comes to your finger, again, you were just in a minor fiscal deficit, right? And we fix that. The mechanisms of hyperbaric are very simple. We bring down inflammation, we increase circulation, we stimulate stem cells, and all of that together helps you perform better. So we will see a vast amount of people. Today, we have fertility. Today, we have a person recovering from Lyme disease that they've had for a couple decades, right? We have a quadriplegic gentleman who was a police officer in San Francisco. He'll come in and he's actually making really great gains. So again, we're just getting people that cellular resource to repair.
It's incredible. So again, this is a subject that is worth researching. It's worth learning about. It's definitely worth experimenting on. And I want to say this is non-invasive. So one of the most important things to understand here is it really is a relaxation. So you're going into a chamber. They're compressing it. So for anybody out there who dives, it's similar to that feeling, and there is a little bit of pressure in your ears, but it's not bad. And it's not as bad as diving, because I dive as well. But once you're under that pressure, then you start to inhale the oxygen, and there's a whole timing and rhythm to this that you can learn more about. But this is the way this therapy is delivered to you, and it's not painful. There's nothing painful about it at all. In fact, it's very comfortable and relaxing. And then you're done, and you come out. And just to talk about that from my experience has been, when I leave the chamber, I feel a little elevated in a way, a little outside of my body, I'd say, a little bit. And what Alex has done in her facility is she has what she calls the decompression room, where before you go get in your car, you go sit in an environment that's very peaceful and very comfortable and warm, and there's nice music, and you're just kind of relax a little bit, which most of us every day can use that as a way to meditate in a way. So again, this has been my experience. This is what I really much enjoy about your facility, and the fact that it's right here in the Bay Area, which again is super unique. When I've started to learn about what's out there, it's incredible. So we're just about out of time. Is there anything else you'd like to offer to the listeners this morning, or how do they find you?
Oh, yeah, they can find me. We're at hh-usa.com. We're in Emeryville. And I would say, think of this as a treat for yourself. Come in and try it. It looks like it could be a little bit scary, but you'll be surprised. It's really, really fun.
Holistic Hyperbarics. Yeah. Mention Sandman, KMBR. Alex will take care of you. Alex, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So if one of your New Year's resolutions, again, was trying to save more money, maybe pay less taxes, maybe learn a little bit about this subject, we're more than happy to help you. Call the number right now, 866-PROTECT. Again, the number to call, 866-PROTECT. Now, when we come back, we're going to get into what can you do in retirement to to create some more joy in your life, particularly if you like music and you've been interested in festivals. My next guest attends festivals and has gotten into all of this, so we're going to learn straight from her how you might take a look at something like this. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
If you missed any of Protect Your Assets with David Hollander, all you have to do is go to pyaradio.com where you can download or listen to our latest shows for free. Just go to pyaradio.com on your computer or mobile device when it's most convenient for you. That's pyaradio.com. Now back to Protect Your Assets with David Hollander, the Sandman.
We're back. I'm David Hollander, and you're listening to Protect Your Assets on the Protect Your Assets Radio Network. You know, at the Liberty Group, our goal is to help you live a more productive, less stressed life when it comes to your finances. This entire month, we've taken this hour each week to help you get into financial shape for 2025. If one of your New Year's resolutions was getting healthier, then today's show has been all about you. This is our fourth and final boot camp, and this entire episode today has been dedicated to pointing out ways that you can eat better, lose weight, anti-age, and now we're going to talk about one of my other secrets, attending concerts. So if you've ever wanted to go to a festival or learn more about music, who better than my daughter, Jackie, if you all know, who is in the entertainment industry. So welcome, Jackie.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So excited to be here.
Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, of course.
So let's talk about the journey of the festival. What is a festival like? How do you sign up for one? I know you've been to Burning Man. You performed there this past year. Tell us about Burning Man, for instance.
Yes.
Like if someone my age wanted to go to Burning Man, how would they do that? Why would they do that? What's it like?
Yes. So I think everyone should go to Burning Man.
You said that.
Yes. Yeah. It is truly a life-changing experience. Like, it just really allows you to reconnect with, I feel like, the essence of humanity. And it's so amazing. Basically, like, the overall idea of Burning Man is that everything is free. So you bring your own food, your own drinks. You join a camp. You can go on their website and like read all about all the different camps, and then you sign up with whichever one you want to stay with. You have to pay a fee. And basically, like, in that camp, you all have a role. So let's say like you're really into cooking, so you would bring like cooking supplies and be the chef of the camp and be in charge of that. Yeah. And that's like the most amazing thing about it is there are huge artists, like huge shows that Burning Man puts on, and it's all free. So everything is free, like all drinks, all food is free, and all you have to do is like provide as well. So you bring something to Burning Man as a whole. And yeah, you just walk away I feel just like so connected to the people you were with. You meet so many new amazing people. Everyone's on the same level, and you just really see like how kind we all are, and it's really special.
And it's a very large age group too, right? So so folks, I mean, most people listen to this show, you know, they're getting near retirement, and I guess the question is, you know, is it ever too late to go to something like that? Yeah, no, and I think like something like that is so good for this age group because it definitely is like an older age group. I think a lot of festivals are really intense and really they're like mosh pit, or just the dancing, the crowds are a lot younger, and like it is a more intense environment. So which types would you recommend that my plus generation stays away from, and which ones do you think they should go to? I mean, if they don't know much about this new kind of music. Yeah. Right? So I feel like Burning Man is a great one. I think like the bigger festivals like Outside Lands, which I've been to. Yes, you love. I went last year. Yes, you guys love. I think like Stagecoach is great if you like country music. There are so many, but I think overall. What about Coachella? Yeah, Coachella is great. There basically at all of these, like you can do it your own way. I think there are so many levels at all of these, like VIP, all these different experiences you can do, different places you can stay to make it nicer, however you want to experience it. But I think for this age group and as an experienced, as we're talking about health and really like bettering yourself and really feeling connected to, you know, who you are and really like furthering yourself, I think Burning Man is the most amazing thing. And it's like an older
age group in general. Like I was definitely one of the youngest people there, which I think is so amazing because it's never too late to connect with music and experience that and like really dive into this world. And I think that even though people think it's a really crazy and intense place to start, you can go for 3 days, like 2 nights. You don't have to go for the whole week. I only went for 2 nights. So you can really pick and choose how you want to.
And how do you get in there? Do you drive in there? Or is there planes in there? Like,
yeah, so there are planes you can do. There's like an actual Burning Man plane that you can take now. I didn't know about that, which is so nice. Definitely going to do that next year because they have literally a Burning Man airport.
Okay.
Or you can just take like an RV. You can get an RV rent for like the few days. That's a really nice option because then you can have a shower, a bed, like drive in and out. The drive is so beautiful and so easy. So you can just fly into Reno. It's a great option. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think like things for people to stay away from are probably, I mean, you guys all probably know who Nicole Kidman is, and she says that she loves to go to techno rave. So, you know, maybe like you are like that, you can go. But I think like raves in general and just like techno music is the harder music, and that is more intense.
It's more damaging probably to your body.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Your psyche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So avoid raves.
Yes.
Burning Man's great.
Yeah.
Coachella, if you're in SoCal. If you're in NorCal, you got Outside Lands.
Yeah.
Those are sort of a good way to entry into something like that.
Yeah,
Bottle
exactly.
Bottle Rock's a good one.
Yeah, Bottle Rock's a great one. And I think just in general with like speaking about health and this whole episode, obviously house music and this whole wave was not really big when a lot of you were growing up. But now like the benefits are incredible. And I think so many people that are older are finding this music and really feeling that. Like you guys can all look up this artist, Rufus Du Sol, for example, is so amazing.
Rufus Del Sol, yeah. Okay,
Rufus
say it a little
Sol.
slower, yeah.
Sorry. Rufus Del Sol, and just literally dive into that. Like this other artist, Bob Moses or Tin Liquor, these people are performing all over the world. It's truly such a spiritual and special experience. And I think once you find that music and hear it, it's like such a world you can dive into, and it's something that will be new to all of you, but truly life-changing. I think like the festival and concert experiences of those people are so calming to the soul and just show you such a new side of music, and it's just something like I think so special for everyone to experience.
Interesting. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's so good for your mind. It's so healthy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jackie. This has been fun. Appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more of your music. So thank you for sharing that with the listeners
as well. Of course. Thank you for having me.
So I hope you enjoyed today's show. I want to say hello to all of our Fan Fest listeners down in San Jose. So what I'd like you to do right now is start the conversation right now. Call us 866-PROTECT, 866-776-8328, 866-PROTECT. We're here right now, ready to help you on your next journey. I'd like to give a big thanks to the Protect Your Assets team for putting together an awesome show today, because without my team, I'm just another pretty voice. Thanks again, everybody. You've been listening to Protect Your Assets with David Hollander, the Sandman. Go out and make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Investment advisory services are offered through Liberty Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. The strategies mentioned are not suitable for everyone. The information expressed does not consider your specific situation or objectives and may not be appropriate for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. To better understand the risk associated with investing and how it reacts to different market conditions, listeners should always consult with their qualified investment professionals, financial advisors, legal or tax specialists, and conduct their due diligence before making any financial decisions or taking any action. The legal information provided on the air is not intended to substitute for callers hiring their lawyers to advise them about personal legal matters. Investments involve risk and, unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Liberty Group LLC paid for the following program, and the host's views and opinions do not represent those of the station or its ownership. California Life Agent number 048569. Persons engaging the services of one affiliate of Liberty Group LLC companies should be aware that each company is operated separately. You're listening to the Protect Your Assets Radio Network.